people of YouTube. I'd like to kick off this channel today with everyone's favorite trash boy DABI. In this tutorial, I want to work towards doing justice to DABI's neck and chest scars and wrinkles, so without further ado, let's get on to the materials. You will need Vaseline, sponges, spirit gum,
makeup remover, oil-based and alcohol-activated body paint,
baby powder or feet powder, eyeliner, liquid latex, black lipstick, foundation, color correcting concealer palette, cotton balls, eyeshadow, sculpting tools, and any type of sculpting tool should work, brushes, fluffy brush, pliers, blue contact lenses, staples, a black wig, and blood. Artificial, of course. First, you're gonna want to put up your hair so no sticky stuff gets in your way and ruins your beautiful hair. Once that's all secured, you're going to start off by lining out or painting the edges of DABI scars, as well as the path in which the staples cover. These lines will serve sort of as a guide, so you know how far you want the liquid latex to go, and we don't accidentally erase them. You don't have to make them perfect, just make sure that they're thick enough for you to see, even after covering them with latex. Make sure you do this to your hands as well. Once that's done, we are going to cover everything with Vaseline. This is to prevent the liquid latex from harming your body once it sticks on. You can also try putting sheets of toilet paper on your face after the Vaseline and then putting the liquid latex over it once you're done. But let's just say I like to live life on the edge and pretend that ripping off simulated skin off my face is not actually that painful. After that, you're going to take your cotton balls and roll a couple of them out. Make sure you stretch these out as much as possible without breaking them off completely. This is the only time I do this, and it is basically just to give a bit of texture to my face, and it makes up for a nice place for the rest of the scars to sit on top of. I actually messed up and started using one of my brushes to apply the liquid latex here. It's ridiculous because I showed the bag with the sponges right before it, but yeah, basically you don't want to do that. It will ruin your brush. If you look like you're growing a white beard out of your face at this point, no worries, it means you're doing it right. What I am basically doing here is taking pieces of cotton and rolling them out with my hands. I actually found that doing this with Vaseline makes it much easier on you, as opposed to doing it without anything at all, so I definitely recommend that. Right now, I am just layering the cotton strips and the liquid latex on top, while making sure that they are separated enough so that they look like individual scars as opposed to one big blob. No blobs here. To do this, I actually for some reason started using a pencil even though I have sculpting tools. But yeah, you can basically use anything you want. A toothpick, a knife, whatever works for you. You do you. Oh, look who finally decided to use the sculpting tools. I basically used the same method of rolling out the cotton and applying the strips and scars and layering them on with latex all throughout most of the videos, so as long as you keep doing that, you should be all good. Okay, so you guys are going to see me do some weird faces from time to time. This is actually really helps with making the latex look like it has been aged with wrinkles and stretched out features, which is why I do it a lot. So have some fun with it and don't be afraid to stretch out your face as much as you want. Cutting strips and cutting strips and cutting strips. Oh, it is actually very helpful if you roll out your cotton before getting it on with your makeup. It just makes it a lot easier to apply it if you're not waiting forever while the latex dries on your face. So yeah, I basically recommend preparing cotton strips beforehand. Also, make sure you get various sizes. As you can see, as I start laying it on my neck, I have various sizes because scars are never going to be perfectly symmetrical, of course. So it is great to do this if you're trying to achieve a more disheveled, realistic look. So by this point, as you guys can see, the top part of my face is yellowish, moldy color, and this is good. It's perfect actually. If your cotton strips are not this color by the time they're supposed to dry off, it basically means that you probably didn't coat well enough with liquid latex. So you're going to want to layer it on and layer it on and layer it on until it's completely soaked. The more soaked it is, the better it is, at least for this particular look. Here I decided to put the strips in a crisscross manner as to make the scars look a little bit more natural. For this I recommend you just place them wherever you think you may need more strips of cotton, depending on what spaces are empty in your face and what you want to fill out. Make sure you still want to keep some type of separation between your strips so it looks like each strip is an individual scar. Another reason why you really want to coat this look super well with liquid latex is because if you are using this as a prosthetic later on, you're going to want to use the prosthetic to come off in as few pieces as possible. So when you peel it off, it doesn't break, and the best way to do that is to cover everything as best as you can so your pieces can come off clean and in big chunks that you can use later on. So what I'm basically doing here is I'm kind of putting the strips of cotton around the scar where I marked it in the beginning, kind of like making a border. This is going to be where we end the scar, and then we're gonna cover this with foundation later on. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is just covering my arms with Vaseline, and then I am going to go over them with liquid latex. But if you observe what I'm doing, I'm basically dabbing the liquid latex in a vertical manner as to create wrinkles, and then I am going to start moving my arm around so that the wrinkles like kind of become more prominent. So yes, if you want to make your hands really wrinkly and gross, and you may want to do that as well. It's a really good tip. And then I'm just going to just cover it as I have done before with all the cotton strips and everything. Just messing around with the camera. But what I'm gonna do next is basically just dabbing some liquid latex and creating the wrinkles for the eyes. I recommend not going too close to your eyes because liquid latex is actually kind of bad for your eyes. Yes, painting, finally. Okay, so basically what I'm doing right now is mixing some color because I don't really have this type of purple on my palettes. So I'm mixing some aqua paint right now with Vaseline. It's child safe / non-toxic, so don't freak out, it's fine. You want to make sure to not forget about the foundation. It's super important because you want those very blended out so that your scar looks more natural. So remember the border that we made before. We're going to cover all of our borders with the foundation. And that's basically it. I am now going to outline the edges of the makeup with black again, just like I did in the beginning. I am going to go over my bottom lip with black lipstick. And then I'm going to go over it with an oil-based paint in black. Now I am outlining my eye with my favorite eyeliner because it's a marker eyeliner and it's amazing, especially for these types of makeup. Okay, so something I didn't mention before was that you can definitely use fake blood or scab blood to make this look a lot more realistic and a lot more gory than what I have here. I just did not use these, not because I didn't want to, I would love to, but because I am going to be using these as a prosthetics, and I'm going to be taking off as soon as I'm done, and then powdering it all up and then putting it in a Ziploc bag. Okay, so I am following a pattern here. First, I start off with the purple base color, and then I go over it with the black to add depth, and then I layer on my oil-based paint flesh colors to bring the highlights back into the makeup to make it look more realistic. Also, red, pink, and flesh colors really bring the whole thing together and make it look just a little bit more gruesome. After that, I layer whatever colors I think are needed based on whether they need more depth or more highlights. Just remember, dark colors are for depth and light colors are for your highlights or more outstanding areas. You want to make sure you outline your scar to define where it ends and feather out with the brush to get that worn out effect that DABI has on his chest and arms. I didn't include how to really take these pieces off as a prosthetic in this video, but if you guys would like me to show you that maybe in another video, I can probably do that, no problem. It is pretty easy though, as long as you protect your skin with Vaseline and the toilet paper sheets, the prosthetic should come off pretty easy without harming you at all. Basically what you do is take the baby powder and brush all around the edges with a fluffy brush, and as soon as you start peeling it off, make sure you also brush the inside of the prosthetic as you peel it. The powder helps the prosthetic from sticking to itself or anything sticky really. And we are finally getting to the staples. It's staple time. Yay! So for the staples, all you're gonna want to do is take your pliers and bend the edges of the staple inwards so that when you place the staples on your face, they are flat and they are not poking you. And what you're gonna want to do, a good tip for this, for putting in the staples, is don't put the spirit gum directly on the staple. Put the spirit gum on your face, on the prosthetic, and then let it dry a little bit until it becomes tacky, and then place the staple on top, and it should adhere pretty well. This is also a step that you may want to do before actually starting out with the makeup. I just realized that I needed more, so that's why I started breaking off the staples again. You're gonna want to break off the staples in groups of 6, and then of course bending them inwards. And that is it, we're done. This is the Genderbent DABI makeup I made, and I hope you guys liked it. Let's see the final results. Thank you guys so much for watching. I worked really hard on this first video of many to come. Please let me know how I did. Make sure you like if you liked it, or dislike if you didn't, and throw me some feedback. I can handle it. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more content from me, or watch the next SFX makeup tutorials I will be making based on my Hero Academia series.